I just wonder, how long is it going to be before the federal government does the right thing and starts taking some of these food items away from people that we don't need to be having? Now, I'm not talking about junk foods. I'm not talking about snacks or sugary drinks. I'm talking about things like ground beef. I'm talking about things like vegetables, lettuce, things you would find in your produce section or from your meat market section of your grocery store. When is the federal government going to step in, do the right thing, and take these things away from the American public? I seriously want to know, because these things are dangerous. These things are literally killing people. Here's some headlines. Over at CBS News about a month ago, ground beef with possible E. coli distributed nationwide, including to Whole Foods. The article continues on with ground beef that was distributed nationwide may be contaminated with E. coli, according to the U.S. Department of Agriculture's Food Safety and Inspection Service. Obviously, the Food Safety and Inspection Service over at the USDA is not working hard enough for the American public. It says here in a public health alert issued Wednesday, the agency said that 1 pound vacuum-packed packages of organic rancher organic ground beef, 85% lean, 15% fat, was produced on May 22nd and 23rd of this year. The packaging is labeled with use or freeze. It's labeled with use or freeze. You can use it. The beef was distributed to Whole Foods market retail locations nationwide and shipped to distributor locations in Connecticut, Georgia, Illinois, and Maryland. Officials have warned that E. coli is a potentially deadly bacterium that can cause dehydration, bloody diarrhea, and abdominal cramps.
Now that's a lot of damage!
Over at the Los Angeles Times, it says California-produced supplier is sued, accusing of causing E. coli outbreak unreported by the FDA. Salinas-based producer supplier Taylor Fresh Foods is facing lawsuits from 9 victims of a November E. coli outbreak that was not disclosed to the public. The outbreak, which killed 1 person and sickened at least 88 more, was linked to romaine lettuce, spanning at least 15 states, including Missouri and Indiana. Over at the CDC website in December of 2024, that was a mere 8 months ago, CDC public health and regulatory officials in several states and the U.S. Food and Drug Administration collected different types of data to investigate a multi-state outbreak of E. coli bacteria. A total of 48 people infected with the outbreak strain of E. coli were reported from 19 states. Illnesses started on dates ranging from September 6th to November 10th. Of 47 people with information available, 20 were hospitalized and 1 developed hemolytic uremic syndrome. I can't pronounce all this stuff. A serious condition that can cause kidney failure, and 1 death was reported from California. When will the government step in and do what? People are dying here. They're dying. Literally dying. It's time we got rid of this vegetables that we see in our groceries. The romaine lettuce, the spinach, the cabbages, the dangerous carrots, and don't get me started on the ground beef. People are literally dying. Okay, so I'm having some fun. But the reality is this is something that is actually killing people and making people sick. However, and in life there's always a however, it was reported this last week that there have been an outbreak of sickies from that thing we can't say here on YouTube, because every time I do, my videos get demonetized. Other people can mention this one thing on YouTube, but I can't, because I have some dedicated purple, blue-haired keyboard commando over at YouTube who sits all day and waits for the algorithm to notify him or her, she or them, they, whatever, that I have said something I shouldn't say, so that person can come in and do what they need to do to make sure my video never sees the light of day. All of my WAR KLIM videos have been taken down off my channel because there is a very caring Karen over at YouTube.
Karen, you are so stupid.
Probably with blue hair or pink hair or something, that just wants to look out for all of you so that if I ever mention WAR KLIM, that phrase, spelled backwards on my channel, that the right thing will happen and you'll never hear about it. WAR KLIM. So I have to say it backwards in order to keep the algorithm at bay. Okay, so here's the news story that came out this last week. From the Associated Press, WAR KLIM sickens 21 people in Florida, including 6 children. Now, the USDA won't suppress this news, I guarantee you. And they haven't, because it's everywhere on all your local news outlets. 6 children are among 21 people who have E. coli, or Campylobacter infections, after consuming WAR KLIM from a farm in Florida, public health officials have said. 7 people have been hospitalized and at least 2 of them are suffering severe complications, the Florida Department of Health said Monday. It did not specify if any of the 6 infected children under 10 are among those being treated in hospitals, nor how many people were infected by E. coli, Campylobacter, or both bacteria. Let's stop on that paragraph right there. It says 7 people have been hospitalized. 2 of them are suffering severe complications. It did not specify if any of the 6 infected are children under 10. They're not. Because if they were, they would have made that very clear. Because the more fear and dread that they can make or generate over this WAR KLIM, the more they don't miss an opportunity. WAR KLIM appears to be gaining in popularity despite years of warnings about the health risk of drinking unpasteurized products. The Food and Drug Administration and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention say that WAR KLIM is one of the riskiest foods people can consume. Never mind that people last year died from eating carrots that were purchased in your local FDA and USDA approved grocery stores. WAR KLIM is far more likely than pasteurized KLIM to cause illnesses and hospitalizations because of dangerous bacteria such as Campylobacter, Listeria, Salmonella, and E. coli, research shows. Does the research show that, eating lettuce can be just as deadly as eating WAR KLIM or drinking WAR KLIM? The infections can cause gastrointestinal illnesses and in some cases might lead to serious complications, including a life-threatening form of kidney failure, kind of like eating carrots. Young children, the elderly, the immunocompromised, and people and pregnant women are at greater risk of complications. Yes, they're absolutely making the point that the people you care about the most, grandma, grandpa, your pregnant wife, or your little infants who are helpless and harmless, they're the ones who are most at risk. If you dare to drink that thing we tell you not to drink. We invented pasteurization for a reason, said Keith Schneider, a food safety processor at the University of Florida. It's maddening that this is happening. What's maddening, in my opinion, is in the last 8 months, 2 people have died from eating foods, carrots and romaine lettuce, and none of them, as far as we understand, drank any WAR KLIM. Everybody knows that they're selling it for human consumption, Snyder said, adding that people getting sick or even seriously ill from drinking WAR KLIM is not a question of if, but when. I think we can say the same thing for carrots. It's not a matter of if, but when you're going to die from eating a carrot or romaine lettuce. Listen, I've been drinking WAR KLIM for probably almost 20 years. My kids have all been raised on WAR KLIM. That's all we have when it comes to KLIM, is the war kind, the horrible kind, the horrible war kind. Anyway, just so you guys know, the guy who made this for my channel was jsgenesisdesigns.com. They actually still have some available if anybody wants them. I think that they have keychains, jsgenesisdesigns.com. And I'm pretty sure that Sanctified Supply, the t-shirt company, they are now making my Farm Fresh butt nuggets and my Stupid Should Hurt and my Pets Make Me Breakfast t-shirts. You can find that link in the description below, but they are also, I believe, going to start making a WAR KLIM t-shirt. And you can only purchase it through them. So you have to go to Sanctified Supply. They have all kinds of other great shirts too. You should check them out. So yeah, this is just the reality of we live in. I mean, I have been, again, my whole family's been drinking this for almost 20 years now, and no one's ever had a problem with it. We've never gotten sick. There's never been a case of the sickies or upset stomach. I understand that anything can go bad. There can always be a bad batch somewhere, and that goes with anything like carrots or romaine lettuce or ground beef. There's always a possibility that you can eat something and get sick. To single out one thing over another when obviously other things can definitely make you sick, but you want to single out this one thing over everything else, despite the fact that humanity has subsisted on it for thousands of years. I have a great book. I don't, where is it at? One of my favorite channels it's called Pinch of Patience, recommended this to me, or what recommended it to her audience. And I just was watching the show and I'd say, oh, I'm going to get that book, Milk into Cheese, David Asher. As I've been reading this book, every single one of the recipes here in this book, and there's lots of them, would not be FDA or USDA approved. This shows you how people used to do things. And as I've gone through my homesteading journey and I've tried to bring others along with that homesteading journey, I often have to bring up the idea that when trying to do something, your first thought should be, how did people do this before? How did they do this in the past? And this book goes into that detail. It's a great book by David Asher. All kinds of things that would never be approved today. The entire world, even today, most of the world still consumes WAR KLIM. WAR KLIM. And this is a great book of all the things they do with it, that WAR KLIM, to make good, nutritious, healthy foods that you can consume. I'll highly recommend that book. This is not USDA or FDA approved. The CDC would have probably, every time you buy this book, there's a head over at the CDC that explodes. So you should absolutely buy a book like this and then share it with your friends. So that's my take on this stuff today. The world's just absolutely gone nuts. These government agencies should have been shut down. This is one of the reasons why I'm very disappointed in the Trump administration, because these bloviating idiots still manage to exist in my world, and I don't like it. I don't like it because all they're doing is putting people in danger. As obviously, look at the carrot incident in California. A couple of messages, a couple of things I want to mention to you guys today. You noticed during this entire rant that I've had, there's been no commercial interruptions because I don't put commercials. I don't allow YouTube to put ads in the middle of my videos. I always put them at the beginning. I always put them at the end. And the way this channel is supported, especially these days, is by things like Patreon, where I give all kinds of things, including lots of butchering videos, tours of the chicken coop that we have here and how it was built, blueprints even. We have all kinds of things on tinctures over there, including some very valuable books you can download over there. Lots of great stuff over at Patreon. So if you join Patreon, you're supporting the channel. I really appreciate that. And I'm getting ready to send out, this one's going to David Duncan. David, I've got I have your Clyde's Garden Planner. I'm trying to get these out. I'm battling still with the U.S. Postal Service, trying to get these out to my patrons. So my top level patrons are getting the Clyde's Garden Planner. I'm going today to the post office and I'm going to say, okay, what does it cost to get? Because the website and the calculator do not match. And I wouldn't be throwing as much of a fit on this, other than the fact that it's like double the price. So I'm like, really? Is that right? It shouldn't cost $4.50 to mail a little envelope like that. That's just ridiculous. And the calculator says like $2. So one is right, one is wrong, but the one they want me to print the label for is the $4.50 one. So I'm trying to figure that out. It's going to go out soon. If I have to pay the $4.50, I will pay the $4.50. It's tax deduction anyway on the business. I will get this out to my patrons. And then anybody else who wants these, I'm going to open that up to lower level patrons. The Clyde's Garden Planner. I think I have one here that's not in the package. No, I don't. They're all over it. Anyway, Clyde's Garden Planner. Just Google it. You'll find it. All my top level patrons and some below are going to get these. The other thing is, we are being, lots of people have asked, how can they leave a review for the Perfect Pickler product? So if you're into fermenting, you have a garden right now, you're growing food, all the cucumbers and tomatoes and peppers and all this stuff, and you want to ferment, you want to learn how to make your own probiotics at home, the Perfect Pickler Kit is the way to do it. And people are asking, Zach, I've done this. It works great. I love it. Where can I leave a review? Google will not allow us to have a Google My Business page. The company had a Google My Business page, but it was based when the company was based in Florida, and they won't let me transfer it up here because they say we don't have a physical address. We don't have a storefront. So if you want to leave a review on our products, and I highly recommend doing that, you can go over to places like Layman's or Amazon where these are sold, and you can leave a review on there, and that will help the company. I highly, highly encourage you, if you like the product, to leave a review, giving your experience, and then also, if you can, this is important, take some photos of your kit or of your product or whatever. Just the kit, just photos of the kit would be fine. And post that along with your review, because most of these places allow you to post photos with your review. That's going to help us in the search engines. It's going to help people get the word out. And it's going to help the people like Layman's or Amazon who are selling our kits sell more of them. So I really appreciate that. And there's some other stores, retail stores, that are going to be carrying our products soon also as well. To find these, just go to perfectpickler.com, scroll down a little bit until you see that bar with all the retailers listed, and just click on a retailer and leave a review like at Amazon or at Layman's. And I really appreciate if you did that. And one thing you might notice in some of the pictures of the products, you see the old recipe book. All the kits are now coming with the new recipe book, full of great recipes. There's it's like 14, 12 or 14 recipes in here. I forgot. But all kinds of recipes that you can use with your kit to make good, healthy home probiotics in your kitchen. Okay. Other than that, I have, this was sent to me by Grafted in Grace. This is the company that I offer soaps for. I promote soaps for, because I don't have time to make my own soaps, but I don't want to buy soaps from the store, right? Okay. I'd rather buy homemade soaps. So I use their soaps, Grafted in Grace. They even include some stickers. I think this one's a magnet. So that's kind of cool. Does it stick on there? No, that's like aluminum. It won't stick on that one. I don't have anything for it to stick to. I don't have a fridge in there. I'm going to get one soon, but Grafted in Grace Creations is a sticker. Grafted in Grace Creations. You can go to graftedinggracecreations.com and look at all the soaps. Now, here's the deal. Speaking of Perfect Pickler, they now have pickled soaps. This one's called Pickled Pink. And it's got olive oil, coconut oil, lye, distilled water, pink clay for color, and essential oils. So this one's called Pickled Pink. It smells really good. So that's good. I like that one. And then there's another one. Oh, this one here. This one. It's called Pickled Perfectly. So for Perfect Pickler. Pickled perfectly, olive oil, coconut oil, lye, distilled water, turmeric, green clay for color, and essential oils. And I believe it's got the scent of dill. I'm pretty sure that's dill. It smells like dill. And so there's a QR code right there. You can scan that with your phone if you want to pause the video, and it takes you over there. And I think there's a discount code if you want to buy some of their soaps. Down below and I don't get any kickback. I'm not asking for any kickbacks for any of this. You're not supporting the channel with this. You're just supporting a small company in the Ozarks. And that's why I promote the coffee company also that I promote, the Shepherd's Crook, because it's a small company based in the Ozarks. Now, this is the thing that I saw them advertise the other day that I was really interested in. I never thought about this. I never knew a company made something like this. But now Grafted in Grace does. And so this was what they sent me. And this is a solid shampoo. So most of the shampoos you buy are full of a bunch of chemicals. Okay. I hate those things. I get what's the brand that I buy? I can't remember. they say there's no chemicals in it, but who knows, right? You're not making it. You don't know anybody who makes it. So this person, we know how they make it over at Grafted and Grace. This is a shampoo bar. So you can use this on your hair. Now, I haven't tried it out yet, but she wanted me to try it out and then get back with her on what I thought. And then she has some other people reviewing this also as well, and they're going to get back to them on what they think. But this is a shampoo bar. So I'm really interested to try this. I wanted to do the video first before I tried it because I didn't want to have to bring it half used out of my shower for the video. But there's the shampoo bar. And then the last thing was this one. I forgot what she calls this on the website. But it's basically for your beard. So good long beard like mine, I like my beard to be soft. And so I have a natural conditioner that I normally use, but I'm going to try this and see how this works. And apparently this makes beards really soft. So it's a beard bar. I don't know what they call it on the website. I'll put it on screen, but it's some kind of bar you can use on your beard. So I'm going to be trying that out as well. So they have all kinds of stuff, soaps and things like that over at Grafted and Grace. You should check out their website. And this is like the coffee company at Shepherd's Crook. I always try to promote them. And people like JS Genesis Designs for the things that they do. They have all kinds of different things over at their website you can check out, woodworking items and things like that. So there you go. Check it out and share it with your friends. If you find a soap that you like, I highly recommend taking that and then putting that over at social media like Facebook or something like that and sharing the link and the soap that you like, and so all your friends know about it as well. Okay, I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Just the T-shirts. I'm going to be over at the Marshfield Homesteading Expo, Ozark's Homesteading Expo, coming up early September, very shortly. So we're within spitting distance of that event, and that's going to be a huge event. There's going to be a lot of people there. I will be speaking on homesteading and preparedness, preparing your homestead for the collapse. So if you're interested in something like that, I'm going to be speaking on that for at least an hour over there at that event on Friday. That's going to be early September. You can find more information by going to my website at AmericanHomestead.com. And AmericanHomestead.com, and right up at the top there's that events tab. You click on that events tab, and you can find out all about it down below. And click on it. It takes you right over to the website, and then it gives you all the details on what you need to know to be there for that event. It's going to be a lot of people. It's going to be a lot of fun. You're going to meet a lot of people, a lot of homesteaders. And you're going to learn so much because there's so many things that they're going to talk about over there at that event. Butchering, chickens, home hobbies, home crafts, all kinds of amazing things for homesteaders to get into and to learn more about. If you have something in particular, that I think they even have the schedule up so you can peruse that and see what is going to be aligned with your interest. I would highly, highly check all that out. All right. Leave a comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Don't go before you hit that like button if you're still with me. I appreciate it. And I appreciate you staying with me as I talk about all these different things like Perfect Pickler and all the other stuff. So what a world we live in. What a world we live in, guys. All right, guys. Love you. I'll see you next time at the Homestead. Bye. Have you ever gone to a health food store and seen all those small bottles of probiotics in your cooler section? Man, can they be pricey. Are you really getting all you need to improve your gut health from those expensive bottles? How viable are they? Most of those products claim to give you between 8 and 15 strains of gut-healthy healing bacteria. Think of each strain of bacteria as a different factory in your gut. Each factory is responsible for breaking down that food in its own way. The more factories you have, the more the food is broken down and the easier the food is absorbed and digested by the body. A 2018 study published by the National Library of Medicine shows that one fermented head of cabbage can produce up to 114 strains of beneficial bacteria. That's a lot more food factories than you're getting from that expensive pill bottle. And that's just cabbage. Imagine the probiotics when you add garlic, onions, pepper, and more to that ferment. PerfectPickler.com and its home fermentation kits provide you with everything you need to get started making your own gut-healthy food factories from the comfort of your own kitchen. PerfectPickler.com even provides a jam-packed recipe book with many of our kits. Visit PerfectPickler.com and start fermenting your own veggies to begin your journey to better gut health. That's PerfectPickler.com. Hey guys, did you know you can become a patron of an American homestead? They get access to private videos, and we send them gifts from the homestead that we make here on the homestead. And we also enter our patrons into special giveaways that are only available to them. And before you go, please check out these other great videos. Go ahead, click. I'll wait.